everyone, it is Coach Jeevers and you are on the Better Health Now Facebook Live. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday night. Hopefully I am live. I don't see anyone commenting, so hopefully I believe that I am. And so anyways, guys, it is Wednesday night and it is the Better Health Now call. And so I'll tell you what, so I've kind of make these calls a little bit as the form. Hey everyone, hopefully I'm back. I think I might have got stuck a little bit. Their internet is being a little bit spotty here, so I'm actually going to make sure that I check on my laptop here, and so make sure that I'm on here. Sorry guys. Oh good, I know that I'm on because I got one person watching. All right, fantastic guys. I'm going to start this bad boy all over. Trisha, you are super awesome. Thank you so much. And Elaine and everyone, now you have validated the fact that I am on the internet. I am on Facebook Live. Okay, so you are on the Wednesday night Better Health Now Facebook Live. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday night. Hope you guys are getting ready for convention. Convention is coming up super quick and everybody is so busy putting all of the incredible things together. We've got new announcements, we've got new products, we've got new speakers, we've got new campaigns, we've got all of this amazing things that we are putting together for convention. And how great is it that it is finally back in our hometown of San Diego, California. So the San Diego Convention Center is going to be absolutely rocking, and many of you that have not gotten a chance to check out headquarters, it is not very far from there. So it is going to be a really incredible time, and I know that all of the speakers, myself, Ben Fuchs, Dr. Peter Glidden, Dr. Silliman, Dr. Winkle, Dr. Lindell, everyone is really excited and they are putting together some amazing presentations for you, because like I mentioned to you earlier, what Steve Wallach and I have kind of put together for this convention is almost making it an incredible longevity convention as always, but also a health summit too. So for all of you that know individuals who are really passionate about their health, about their wellness, and they love to educate themselves, this is a ticket for them to definitely get, because they're going to get knowledge that usually they would have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars in when they go to some of these specific health summits. So anyways, so that's really cool. And what I kind of want to do today is touch on a product that probably many of you have heard a lot about, have seen. It's called the ProCardioFX. We released this in February of this year, and we released it with co-formulating it with a incredible cardiovascular surgeon named Dr. Dwight Lindell. And Dr. Dwight Lindell, cardiovascular surgeon for over 30 years. He was the head of Chief of Staff at Yale. He was head of surgery at Banner. He had an incredible kind of discovery in which, after doing 5,000 different heart surgeries or 5,000 heart bypasses, that he realized that the true cause of cardiovascular disease was inflammation, and inflammation due to our lifestyle choices, and specifically some of the nutritional things that we're doing. And the solution to that inflammation, or resolving that inflammation and resolving the risks of cardiovascular disease, was not by taking statins, not by doing surgeries, but by making significant lifestyle choices and making sure that you get in the right nutrition and specific nutrients. And so with his years of research, with Dr. Wallach's years of research, we kind of put it all together and we developed an incredible Pro-line product called ProCardioFX. And ProCardioFX to me is our longevity's first ever pure cardiovascular cardio health product. We have obviously our brain and heart pack of our healthy body pack system, which is incredible for the foundational nutrition that our body needs on a consistent basis. And then we've added obviously one of the key nutrients for cardiovascular health, which is essential fatty acids. But if you are looking for a specific product that just focuses on cardiovascular health, for vascular health, ProCardioFX is the most direct product. And I'm going to teach you exactly how we developed this product, why we developed this product, and what were the specific nutrients that we chose to create the benefit. So real important when you understand cardiovascular health is that a lot of people, when you talk about cardiovascular health, you immediately go to the heart, okay, and the health of the heart. And one of the things that Dr. Lindell says that I love is he says, you know, the heart is just a simple or dumb pump, as he calls it. It's just a pump. And that pump is fed by a lot of different networks, and that is your cardiovascular system. And the health of your heart is dependent on that vascular system. It's dependent on those, you know, 60,000 miles of pipes, as he calls it, that are the arteries, the veins of your body. And if the health of that system, those highways that feed the most essential part to your body, or the life essence of your body, which is blood, are not healthy, then your heart is not going to be healthy. But more importantly, you won't be able to transfer the nutrition that your body is taking in and the toxicity that your body is creating. So you need to make sure that this highway, this network, is incredibly healthy, because it's bringing great nutrition to the body, and it's also releasing the toxicity that's inevitable for the body to produce, because anytime you create any type of energy, anything that is anything that causes energy is going to create some waste, and your body has to have the ability to eliminate that waste. And this is the most important part of detoxification. So I know we talk about detoxification with the health of the liver, and we talk about detoxification with the health of the gastrointestinal tract. And we talk about detoxification in the sense of our kidneys and our spleen and other detoxifying organs. But really, the greatest detoxifier, or the most important element of detoxification, is protecting our vascular system and protecting these arteries and veins, because that is where all of this toxicity ends up going. It ends up, how do you think it gets to the liver? How do you think it gets to the kidneys? How do you think it gets to the spleen? It gets there because of these networks. And so really the health of our entire cardiovascular system, our heart, is the health of the arteries, and not just any part of the artery. It is the area called the endothelial lining. And the endothelium lining, if you look at this kind of marker here, and let's look at it kind of as an artery or a vein, okay? That artery and vein has hollowed inside, and it's a tube, and that's where blood flows in and out. Well, the very vulnerable area is right inside that tube, the very inner lining. And that inner lining is the endothelial wall. And that lining is lined with endothelial cells. And these cells, as you know from some of the education that we provide with the CardioBeats product, which is very similar in helping to support the health of this endothelial lining, is that when that gets damaged, and it gets damaged because of things that are insults, like sugar and processed foods and chemicals, acidity, toxicity, all of these things that we either eat or we breathe in, they end up flowing through remember, everything that you eat, everything you breathe in, everything that you're around, even the pollutants that are around you, they get absorbed into your skin, and they flow into these arteries and these veins, and they flow right in through here, and then they start flowing throughout the body. And these things, whatever they are, these toxicities, these insults, they start scratching away at that endothelial wall. And when they start scratching away at that endothelial wall and there's cuts that happen, we end up starting to seep that toxicity out into the rest of the body, and then we're unable to bring in other things into the body. So we have that problem, and that's why we've got plaque, and that's why we have cholesterol and things like that. And I want to talk about that too much. I want to really kind of dig into this formula. So what we did with ProCardioFX, okay, is just like when I was teaching you about the Pro Joint FX, is that there are major buckets of benefits that we wanted to provide. And you can't do everything. So you got to kind of choose where you're going to focus if you're going to deal with a certain health principle. So here we're dealing with, okay, how do we provide greater health, provide greater strength and resiliency to this cardiovascular system? The heart, and most importantly, all of the networks that provide the fuel to the heart. And then we had to choose what is the area that is most vulnerable. And that vulnerability, that area we feel is the endothelial lining. Okay? So we said, okay, what are we going to do? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to protect this lining from oxidative stress. And oxidative stress is basically just a fancy word for the toxicity that's created when you have materials in the blood that are going to face some sort of trauma. And so this is kind of relates to why, Dr. Wallach always talks about that cholesterol is not a bad thing. Cholesterol is needed to help to repair this tissue that is insulted due to all the different types of toxicities and things that we do. If you didn't have cholesterol, you wouldn't have the plaster that is needed to put over these cuts. And whether it's the HDL, that's the actual plaster, or whether it's the LDL that kind of cleans away the excess plaster to remove it from the body so that you don't have a bunch of kind of a bunch of bumps and too much plaster on a drywall. Think about it that way. But where the issue comes is that when we start creating inflammation and when we start consuming things that create inflammation, we end up oxidizing this cholesterol. And when we oxidize the cholesterol, now it becomes an insult in itself. So one of the first things that we do is we have to create or provide the body nutrients to help to protect the oxidation that's happening. So that's the first benefit that we're going to provide with the ProCardioFX. The second benefit that we're going to provide with the CardioFX is to increase circulation, to help to support healthy circulation. Because when you have healthy circulation, you have movement of nutrition and you have movement of toxicity. This is why exercise is so incredibly important, is because it forces circulation. And when you forcing this flushing of the arteries, flushing of these veins, flushing of this network, then just logically you're going to get greater health because nothing's going to sit for a very long time. And then the third thing that we're going to do is because cardiac muscle, our entire body, but especially cardiac muscle, is very energy dependent. It's electrical. This is why if the heart stops, what do? We have a defibrillator, and we shock the heart. We send electrical impulses to the heart to get it back into rhythm. This is probably one of the most important ways, or most evident way, if you will, that tells you that your body is incredibly electric. There's electricity flowing all over the body. This is why essential oils work so well in the body, is because essential oils create a vibrational force. And this vibrational force is right in tune with our electrical bodies. And that's why it works so well. This is why we talk about muscles having sodium-potassium pumps and cardiac muscle having calcium-magnesium pumps. And we talk about the value of electrolytes. Why do we talk about plant-derived minerals? What are minerals? They're electrically charged molecules. And when you get these electrically charged molecules in the body, you have the ability to sustain these charges, add to these charges, and most importantly, make sure that these charges do not become weak because of the deficiencies in these minerals. So what we want to do with our ProCardioFX, when Steve and I and Dr. Lindell came together, we said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to build a formula that protects our vascular system from the number one insult, which is called oxidation. We're going to make sure that we promote healthy circulation and blood flow. And then we're going to maintain and improve the energy management of our cardiovascular tissues, our cardiac tissues. Okay? So let's now kind of dig into the formula. And by the way, as you realize, I figured out how to change the, or flip the Facebook Live so you could actually read the information on here, supposedly that it is large enough, instead of it being backward. But anyways, that's a little thing. So here's the deal. So let's first take a look at the formula real quick. So ProCardioFX, it's a soft gel. It's a soft gel, and the reason why it's a soft gel is because the main nutrient that's in ProCardioFX is essential fatty acids, and it's an oil. And anytime you have an oil, you want to make sure that you keep it in its most active form, which is an oil. Therefore, you can't put oils in capsules, and you can't put it in a tablet, and you can't put it in a powder unless you use some crazy kind of wild technologies that are actually available a little bit. They're not quite perfected, but the safest thing is to put it into a soft gel. That's why all of our oil-based products are in soft gels. So you want to take 2 soft gels a day. So when you take 2 soft gels a day, you get all of the dosages that we have researched to promote cardiovascular health. And you can take these soft gels. The best time to take any type of fat-based product is with other fats. So whether you're taking the Ultimate EFA, the Ultimate EFA Plus, the Prohoba EFA, ProCardioFX, anytime you've got a product, even if you're taking a liquid like the Bella Vita, Santa Vita product, anytime you've got a oil-based product or a product that has oils, the best time to take them is when you're already consuming a food or a meal that has essential fatty acids or healthy fats in them, okay, right? You will get better absorption and digestion. And there's 30 servings in here, and so that is a month's supply, and you can take it in the morning, you can take it at night, you can take it in the afternoon. It doesn't really matter. None of these nutrients are stimulating type of nutrients, so if you take them too late at night, it's not going to cause you any issue. So anyways, that's how to take the product. So as far as protecting against oxidation, we kind of focused on 4 key nutrients, okay, right? The first nutrient that we focused on was omega-3, okay, right? Essential fatty acids, so EFAs, okay, right? And omega-3 is big, big, big. Obviously, this is the same reason why you eat fish. This is my frozen fish that I'll probably be cooking tonight. And the reason why eggs are so fantastic. And so they contain essential fatty acids and specifically omega-3. And remember, if you want to check out my Ask Jeevers video, I talk about the differences between omega-3, omega-6, and omega-9. And a lot of the products that Longevity has combines omega-6 and omega-9 along with it. However, this ProCardioFX does not have omega-6 and omega-9, we only focused on omega-3. And the reason for that is because although there is some research that shows that you get better absorption with omega-3, omega-6, and omega-9 together in a ratio, that research is, I mean, it's okay, but it's not necessarily 100% sure. And then also there's another nutrient that we added in the ProCardioFX to actually increase the absorption. Now, also the biggest reason why I didn't want to do it is because omega-6 you already get. So most American diets have plenty of omega-6, and so there's no need for me to add omega-6 to this formula. And then omega-9 you're going to actually be able to produce from the combination of omega-3 and omega-6. And so omega-3 was my number one major nutrient that I wanted to provide, so the whole thing has omega-3. Now, omega-3 has two sources, if you will, okay, right? And it has DHEA or DHA and EPA. Now, these are two different types of omega-3. And you'll notice that anytime I've got an Ultimate EFA Plus bottle here, and then I've got the ProCardioFX. If I had the Prohoba, I had it, but I took all the product and I ran out of it. But you'll notice that when you look at the back of the supplement facts panel, you're going to notice that we're going to say the fish oil, omega-3, and then we're going to break down how much of EPA and DHA we have, because every source is different. So you'll notice that a lot of cheaper sources of omega-3 are going to have a lot less EPA and DHA. So this is really, who cares about how much fish oil or omega-3 that you have in the product? What's most important is looking at the EPA and DHA. So if you've got a really high quality product, you'll see that they have a high amount of EPA and DHA. And when you look at ProCardioFX compared to Ultimate EFA Plus and Ultimate EFA, as well as the Prohoba, we have in ProCardioFX as much EPA and DHA as these products as well too. So if you're not getting any less EPA and DHA when you take the ProCardioFX. And the reason why this is important is because EPA is the anti-inflammatory omega-3. And DHA is the omega-3 that is most important with the central nervous system. So brain health and nerve health. If I was developing a product that focused on brain health and nerve health, I would have an omega-3 source, but I would have more DHA than EPA. But we were developing a product for cardiovascular health focused on neutralizing the toxicity, and to reduce oxidation and to promote healthy inflammation levels. So therefore, we wanted to have a source that had high EPA rather than DHA. And you'll notice that eggs, they'll always say, oh yeah, you know what, you should, this is omega-3 eggs, if you will. Well, they don't add the EPA or DHA in the egg. Actually, what they do is they have these chickens and they eat flaxseed. And flaxseed has a source of omega-3 called ALA. And that's the plant-sourced omega-3. And then ALA is converted to EPA, or converted to DHA, which is then converted to EPA. Anyways, the whole point is that that's how they get omega-3 in the egg, is that they don't shoot it in. They actually have the chickens eat flaxseed. And so omega-3 is huge. It is a huge protectant for inflammation and oxidation. It's one of the nutrients that has been shown in a tremendous amount of research to help to support cardiovascular health. And the marine sources that we used, and so we used anchovies and sardines for this omega-3. And the reason why that is because anchovies and sardines are very small fish. And you want to make sure they have a high level of omega-3, but they have a high level of omega-3 that's specific to high levels of EPA. And because they're very, very small fish that have short lifespans, if you will, they carry a lot of less toxicity than the larger fish. And one of the biggest issues that you have with fish is the mercury and things like that. And so that's why you get a more cleaner, better source of omega-3. The second thing that we have is selenium. And so everyone has heard about selenium because it is a miracle nutrient. Dr. Wallach obviously has done a tremendous amount of research in selenium and the health benefits of selenium. Selenium is a powerful antioxidant. But one of the things about selenium is that selenium actually, in this particular example, helps to retain CoQ10. It not only helps to retain the amount of CoQ10 that our body has, but it actually stimulates the production of CoQ10. And this is a very, very important point that I'll get to in a second. But one of the biggest reasons why we made sure that we had selenium in the ProCardioFX, outside of the incredible research in being an antioxidant for cardiovascular health that Dr. Wallach had already done research in, is that it maintains a level of CoQ10, which is incredibly important for the energy management of our cardiac muscle. There's actually been a really incredible study that was done in Sweden that showed that the combination of CoQ10 and Sweden reduced mortality rates by 50%. And not only that, but that the effects of the combination of CoQ10 and selenium were felt 10 years after the study. So even 10 years after the study, people were getting the benefits of this combination of CoQ10 and selenium. The next is quercetin. So quercetin is a fat and water soluble antioxidant found in the skin of green apples, in onions and things like that. One of the biggest things about quercetin is that it inhibits two different types of enzyme systems. And these enzyme systems, the geeky thing is cyclooxygenase and lipooxygenase. These two enzyme systems, they actually promote inflammation. Now, these enzyme systems are so powerful that actually a lot of the pharmaceutical drugs that we take for inflammation, its mechanism of action is to inhibit these two particular COX and LOX enzyme systems. And what quercetin does is it naturally does that. And so that's why it's a natural kind of healthy anti-inflammatory. And then obviously turmeric. Turmeric, we've talked a ton about turmeric. Turmeric is an healthy inflammation response nutrient. It's an antioxidant. It helps with blood circulation. There's a turmeric, just as many of you know. But the cool thing about turmeric too, by the way, just real quick, our turmeric, one of the things that anytime you want to look in a product when they have turmeric is how pure that turmeric is. And you'll know how pure that turmeric is by the activity of the curcuminoids, it's called. And curcuminoids is the most active nutrient in turmeric. And so ours is a 95% purity of turmeric, 95% curcuminoids. This is the same source that we use in our turmeric product, right? Our other ProLine turmeric product. And so so that's really cool. There's 500 milligrams in the turmeric product, and we have 100 milligrams here because we're combining it with a whole set of other nutrients to help with oxidation. Okay, so the next thing is, so now circulation, okay, right? So with circulation is resveratrol. Resveratrol, one of the nutrients that are key in red wine, all the research has been done for that, is that resveratrol does two things. Number one, it rapidly increases blood flow, okay, number one, okay, right? And then secondly, it protects the nitric oxide. And so many of you learned about the value of NO, nitric oxide, with our CardioBeats formula. Our CardioBeats formula has the major part of that product is beets. And beets is a natural nitrate that when you consume turns into nitric oxide, a signaling molecule for the cardiovascular system to create resiliency and strength and repair in the cardiovascular tissue. Well, that's what resveratrol does. Resveratrol helps to maintain levels of nitric oxide. When you maintain levels of nitric oxide, you have greater signaling molecules, you have greater resiliency, you have greater strength, et cetera, okay, right? The next nutrient that we have to increase circulation is garlic. Garlic has been known as the cheapest way to prevent cardiovascular disease, okay? And the reason for that is garlic has a nutrient called allicin in it, okay? And this is usually cooked off. So whenever you cook garlic, that's why I always add garlic after the cooking's done, is because you can cook off this allicin that's in garlic. And this allicin, it is a, what it does is it reacts with red blood cells. And when it reacts with red blood cells, it creates a vasodilation, a relaxing effect. And whenever you create relaxation in the vein and the artery, you create enhanced circulation. Okay, right? So that's how garlic relates to increasing blood circulation, is it helps the vascular system to dilate, relax, and therefore you have less impedance or resistance for that blood flow to happen. And the cool thing about garlic is that this allicin actually has shown in research to relax the cardiovascular tissue or endothelial walls by 72%. Then lastly, we have energy management. So the main thing about energy management is CoQ10. Okay, so CoQ10 is found in every cell of the body. And what CoQ10 does is that CoQ10 is part of the Krebs cycle, part of the energy cycle. And what it does is it allows cells to not get fatigued. And this is very important. Heart failure is when the cells of the heart get fatigued, they get tired. When they get tired, they can't work anymore. You have failure, okay? So what you want to do is you want to maintain a very high level energy in our cardiac tissue. Well, that's what CoQ10 does. And the big thing about making sure that whether it's CoQ10 in the heart muscle or it's in the muscle tissue or smooth muscle, is that any time that you have lack of energy in your cells, you create inefficiency of energy production. When you create inefficiency of energy production, you create oxidation, you create inflammation. So anytime things are inefficient, you create a lot more waste. And when you create a lot more waste, you create a lot more inflammation. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your engine has as much clean fuel as it possibly can have, so everything runs very smooth, very efficiently. And so that's what CoQ10 does, is it provides that energy. That's why it's in energy management. And obviously, as I talked about earlier, plant-derived minerals, because minerals are electric, they have a charge. They're going to provide the electrolytes, the nutrients to help to make sure that there's all of this incredible conductivity of energy in the heart muscle, in the blood vessels, in the arteries, in the veins, all that sort of stuff. And so one last thing that I want to talk about that's really, really big, okay, right? So what we've done, we've created a product that focuses on protecting your body against protecting your vascular tissue against oxidation, to support healthy blood circulation and blood flow, and then lastly, to manage the energy or enhance the energy of our cardiovascular system, specifically our heart. But one of the key things is that we've added a nutrient called bioperin, okay? This is huge, guys. So this nutrient is a patented nutrient that is a black pepper extract. And the biggest reason for it adding to this is it helps to increase the bioavailability of some of these key ingredients. So in clinical research, here's what it's shown. It's shown that it increases CoQ10 absorption and bioavailability by 32%. It increases turmeric bioavailability by 2,000%. It increases resveratrol bioavailability by 230%. And it increases selenium absorption and bioavailability by 42%. So guys, this is why this is why ProCardioFX is such an incredible product to support the health of the cardiovascular system at any age, but especially if you are in risk of trauma or that your lifestyle choices have caused you to be at the risk of trauma, is that there is no other product on the market, number one, that has as many nutrients together with essential fatty acids and the quality of omega-3 essential fatty acids than ProCardioFX. And then second to that, no other product, retail or network marketing, has looked at the major elements of oxidation protection, circulation, and energy management, which are the three key things to produce a healthy cardiovascular system, to maintain a healthy cardiovascular system. And then provided nutrients in each of those categories that has the dosage levels that we do and the research that we do. So anyways, guys, hopefully you found this interesting. You found the formulation corner, which is my new term now, and that we'll be doing more of these, but I won't be having a call next week because obviously it's convention, and hopefully I will see many of you at convention. If I am there and you see me, I hope that you will say hi and that you will say, hey, I watch your Better Health Now Facebook Lives, because I would always love to see you and thank you and appreciate you for your time. So thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night, and we will see you in San Diego. Bye, longevity.